Sup gamers, it's Silver Orpheus. Welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we began our journey, went to Mr. Pokemon's house, fought an asshole rival, and more or less began our journey with Realm the Cyndaquil. Now, before going on, there's actually two things that I want to go over real quick. First is that if you're playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you might have noticed an extra thing pop, like an extra trait about your Pokemon pop up in the menu, that being your Pokemon's ability. In Generation 2, abilities do not exist yet. However, if you want to know what your Pokemon's abilities are going to be in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, feel free to check, because the game will typically give you an idea of what that ability does. I'm also not showing them off in the bios, mostly because I am playing Crystal primarily, and in addition to that, yeah, I think I kind of just went over pretty much everything that I wanted to with that statement. Anyway, another thing that I wanted to go over is the Pokedex. We have just one Pokemon, but we've seen 5 up to this point. Now, the Generation 2 Pokedex is actually once very unique to me, because about a year and a half ago, actually wait, this might have been like 3 years ago. Silver! Use these in your Pokedex quest. We received Pokeballs! There's actually 5 Pokeballs of that, not just one. I'm probably more qualified to teach that. Anyway, as I was saying, the Gold and Silver Pokedex is very unique to me because about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, maybe even longer than that, I actually went and completed the Gold and Silver Pokedex. However, I'm actually missing one Pokemon. And so with that, we're going to be completing the Generation 2 Pokedex proper this time. Oh my goodness. I've seen you a couple of times. How many Pokemon have you caught? Would you like me to show you how to catch Pokemon? No. Thank goodness. +1 to the originals over Heart Gold and Soul Silver for that, because if you're a veteran to the series, you already know this more than anybody, but tutorials in this series are amongst the worst. Anyway, now we have access to Pokeballs. I think it's finally about time we actually go over some of these guys. So let's go ahead and hop into that proper. Let's go ahead and start things off with Pidgey, because that's kind of the one that a lot of people remember. Pidgey is a normal flying type, which is very basic. In addition to that, it also learns very basic moves like Wing Attack and Gust and attack. All it gets are normal and flying moves, pretty much, which is actually good for it. However, it's a bit generic, and if more or less your opponent's likely gonna see what's coming, especially if you're playing a multiplayer. In which case, well, then again, why are you playing Gen 2 multiplayer? This actually has one of the worst metagames in the entire series. Yeah, you're not gonna be catching anybody off guard with a Pidgey. That's kind of a blanket statement. It's kind of true for most normal flying types. But I guess you might want to use one. I've done it before. It's not totally unusable. Next is Rattata, a Pokemon that we somehow have not seen yet. You know the Pokemon. Normal type, mediocre stats at best. Only non-normal type move that this thing gets is Pursuit. However, there's one trait about Rattata that you might not be familiar with. That being its TM coverage. Rattata, being a normal type, is actually very good at learning TMs. It's absolutely astounding how good this thing actually is. So, do you want it? I would probably recommend Rattata only for a short-term, temporary team member. Not anything too big, like a permanent team member. Anyway, up here we have something new. Different kinds of Pokemon appear past here. If you want to catch them all, you have to look everywhere. Gotta catch them all. I remember back when that was more or less the blanket statement for the entire series. Route 46. There's actually a single Pokemon that I want to encounter here. And I want to see if I can catch it. I'm going to be going over every Pokemon here as well. And I'm going to... Oh, hey, look at that. There's one of them. Let's go ahead and start things off on this. Actually, I should just go ahead and continue with the other route, just because. Why the hell not? Sentret. The biggest thing I can really say about Sentret that hasn't kind of been said already is normal type. Learns lots of great moves through TM. Unlike Rattata, it actually learns Surf. I think you kind of get another job. Its stats are not really that good. However, unlike Rattata, it actually gets a better stab move in the form of Hyper Beam, which, as long as you're not playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, is actually really good, because Hyper Beam is a physical move in this generation. It's nothing too great, however. If anything, it's going to be your HM slave. Only found at nighttime, which is something that we haven't gone into yet, being time of day. Hoot Hoot is actually one of the better normal flying types. You wouldn't exactly think that a Pokemon with such a generic type could actually be, good. But Hoot Hoot will actually catch you off guard with a lot of the things that it learns, because instead of specializing on like a special attack, it actually focuses a lot more on its HP and special defense stats, and a lot of the moves that it learns reflect it. Including, well, Reflect. Well, that's physical defense, but, better to have a good mix of defenses. It gets Dream Eater, Hypnosis, and even learns Confusion through Level Up. That's great. Other than that, it's normal flying type, and its main thing is just to, trip up your opponents. Definitely a lot less basic than Pidgey. Finally we ran into a Rattata. And then finally we got Hoppip. Only can be found this early in Crystal. Hoppip is terrible. It is our first grass type that can be encountered in the wild, and grass flying is a horrible... Let's go ahead and get the bad part out of the way first. The levels that can be caught, the only move that it knows is Splash, a move that allows it to do absolutely nothing. No damage, no effects, nada. In addition, grass flying type is a horrible type on both standpoints. And it also gets no attacking moves, so it really has nothing to take advantage of its grass and flying type. And moving on to this route, we have Spearow, a other generic normal flying type. I actually used one in my Let's Go series, but that was during the events of Generation 7 when when Spearow had things fun to use, like Drill Run and stuff like that. Here, it's just your regular, generic, aggressive, normal flying bird that really only learns normal flying type attacks. That's really about it. If you want something with a bit more oomph to it compared to Pidgey, I definitely recommend this one over it, but it's not really award-winning. And up next, we have the earliest that you can possibly encounter Jigglypuff in the wild at any point in the series. Jigglypuff being a high HP wall that mostly just takes attacks and walls them out. However, like most other normal types, Jigglypuff's TM compatibility is huge, and it gets moves like Blizzard, which is not much considering the fact that it's only a normal type, won't really help it out that much, but hey, it gets Blizzard, Thunder, and Fire Blast through TM, so you can probably find some way to make it work. And Geodude is our first rock type. Rock types generally being more high attack, high HP oriented. And they may or may not be absolutely horrible. Let's go ahead and get Geodude's big thing out of the way first. It learns a move called Rollout. A move that gets absolutely disgusting later on in a fight when it's just constantly spammed. It gets more and more powerful the more it's used in succession, which can get out of hand very quickly. And with Geodude here being part rock type, that is actually even more dangerous. However, Geodude's type is kind of where its positives end. There's tons of rock and ground types out there, making it, you know, one of the more generic type variety. In addition to that, they all have 6 weaknesses, including 2 quad weaknesses. Yeah, I pass on this one, honestly. You're not finding much good with it. And the final Pokemon on our list, and also the only Pokemon that we've yet to run into yet, Phanpy. Only found this early in Crystal. Another excellent user of Rollout, pure ground type, meaning it's not going to get the stab from Rollout. However, if you wanted a beast with high attack, high physical defense, Phanpy is outclassed by none other. This is a monster. In addition, because it only has 1 type, it's not gonna have the same weakness that it's not gonna have the same problem Geodude has, where it's gonna have 2 quad weaknesses. No, it just has 3 weaknesses. So a lot of the problems of being part rock type are just negated in general. Unfortunately for Phanpy and Donphan, they are kind of, well, not specially defensive at all, and all of their weaknesses are special based. So you gotta be really careful, like, when and how you're using it. Other than that, it's actually really good. Now, there's a Pokemon one of the Pokemon that we just went over, I want to try and find, but I just can't seem to find it. Oh! 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 Phanpy! Okay, so, Phanpy. You want to be ready to throw your Pokeball immediately. Wanna know why? Because Phanpy will usually run away immediately after... Do not do this to me. No! And the worst part is that Phanpy can only be found 5% of the time, only in the morning. Well, guess I'll see you back here when I find another one, because this is gonna be some pure chaos. Yes! Oh! Curse that! It took me, how long did this session? Hour 30? Dude. Oh, probably plus like the extra 2 hours that I spent looking for it yesterday. I am so done. Okay, so Phanpy, this is the 2nd team member. Already, however, I don't actually have any nicknames for it, so, nor do I even have anybody to nickname Phanpy right now, so I guess, this is gonna be an interesting event. Who am I gonna choose to nickname it? That's a good question. We'll have to find out. No longer have to catch you. I am saving my game immediately. I don't care if, like, anything like that occurred. Nope. Done with this nonsense. Nope. We're out of here. Alright, so with Phanpy in tow, I'm actually going to go ahead and put our new team member up front. You can actually do that. You can switch team members, because Phanpy being level 2 has a lot of catching up to do, and well, that's primarily what this episode's mostly going to be. So yeah, I literally spent like the past day and a half just catching the main central piece of our team. Yeah, that's just the beginning of it. Yeah, let's just heal, just in case. I seriously don't like the concept that it took literally this long to catch. Oh my goodness. You know what? I had to use all my berries there too, so I guess it really wasn't a waste that we got all those. Let's look at Phanpy. Look at its stats. Pure ground type, just tackle, growl, and its base moveset. Absolutely pathetic across the board compared to Cyndaquil. But we'll make this thing work. It doesn't start off good at all, but it gets great. Yeah, you traded Pokemon there already. Very freaking believable. PC is free for any trainer to use. And we got pretty much nothing here in Cherry Grove City that we've already explored. Aside from the fact that I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but the Guide Gent in Heart Gold Soul Silver is a mandatory tutorial. Also, you get the running shoes from him if you talk to him again. So yeah, not sure if you knew that part. The running shoes is an item that's not been introduced yet as of Pokemon Crystal. So we're stuck with base movement speed, which I guess isn't so bad comparing it to Heart Gold Soul Silver. Well, I guess if anything, Phanpy now has a nice guinea pig to take out. Because, Ladybug isn't exactly what I call good. And speaking of which, we can actually go over our first Pokemon now. Our first batch of Pokemon now. Yay! Let's go ahead and start things off with, this thing. Ladybug. Straight up bad. This thing has only one stat above 85. You wanna know that stat? Special defense. Yep. That's probably why Realm here just completely destroyed it. That's exactly why Realm destroyed it. I'm not actually making any joke here. Ladybug is absolutely horrible. Ugh, goodness. Decent TM coverage. Bad everywhere else across the board. I really have nothing else better to say about it, aside from the fact that its type only makes it even worse. Bug flying. Imagine having a quad weakness to rock. And yeah, you're pretty much in for the long haul, and it's really bad. Contrary, finding it only being available in silver version, because Ladybug is exclusive to gold. We got Spinarak. Spinarak is not great itself, but it's a lot better than, you know, Ladybug, I guess. Whatever. It's just a part poison type. And actually moving on to this group of Pokemon here. We got Caterpie and Metapod. These two are, well, pretty much what you would expect. Caterpie, just a regular bug type, evolves super early in the Metapod, and that's more or less it. Evolves into a really powerful Pokemon at level 10 that is probably going to be falling behind the rest of the team very quickly. Yeah, you know the general evolution family here. That's pretty much what this family has going for it. Only real thing that you're really going to get out of Butterfree is that it learns a Psychic type move in the form of Confusion pretty early on, and that's about it. However, you can't exactly have Caterpie and Metapod without Weedle and Kakuna. These two, you get the drill, except it's part poison type, and you get Beedrill out of it, which is the physical attacker of the two families. Except, unlike Butterfree, the only thing you're really getting out of it is a signature move called Twin Needle, which is supposed to be a check for Psychic types in Gen 1. However, this generation introduced two types in the form of Dark and Steel, both of which already do the job really well on their own. So Twin Needle isn't really that useful anymore. It wasn't even useful to begin with in Generation 1, just to point that out. Twin Needle always sucked. And anyway, here we have our first batch of Pokemon trainers, with that one being Youngster Joey. Also found on the next route only at night. Also found, I think, in this area, but it could also be the next area on the route to Violet City. Only found at nighttime is Zubat. Zubat is very rare. Wow, I just described Zubat as rare. Wow, way to go, me. Zubat is the opposite of rare. You find it all the time in every Pokemon game. It's everywhere in caves, and you get annoyed after hearing its cry for like every 10 seconds. That's basically how I would describe Zubat. However, I would also describe it as useless until it learns Wing Attack. And as such, Zubat also gains a new evolution in this game in the form of Crobat. So, pretty much, this family's only gotten upgraded since Red and Blue. It used to be stuck as that really useless Golbat, but now it is tied for the second fastest Pokemon in the entire Johto Dex. Yeah, tied for the second Crobat is insanely fast. It's unreal. And also found at nighttime in this area is Poliwag. Poliwag, similar to Zubat, Poliwag gains a new evolution in this game in the form of Politoed. And the method that you're going to be getting Politoed, you're not going to have access to for quite a while now. So if you were going after Politoed in particular, I would probably keep that off your list for a little while now. In fact, it's going to be a while before you can even get Poliwrath as well. And as for its second phase in the form of Poliwhirl, well, that's going to be a less tedious wait, and just evolving it once might take as much time as it's going to need to get the final evolved forms. You're probably better off getting other water types. I mean, it's not like that we're really far away from them either. Anyway, Poliwrath mostly functions as a mixed attacker, which, considering that it's part water type, is not really the best recipe that I can really ask for. Politoed in particular becomes more or less a mixed bag. However, I personally wouldn't recommend it yet because it doesn't exactly... I wouldn't exactly recommend it to you in either Gold, Silver, Crystal or Heart Gold, Soul Silver because it doesn't exactly have what makes it good yet. And that's pretty much it for all the Pokemon in this route. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of running out of things to say about Route 30. Because most of it's just trainer battles, and I'm also kind of spending a lot of this time just raising up like a lot of my team members. Particularly, a lot of my team. I speak like I have like a full team of 6, but in actuality, I only have 2. Really? First patch of grass? Caterpie! I got no plans on using this thing, but I wonder if you're actually strong enough to actually... I guess I actually do have something to talk about now. And in this game, genders play a pretty pivotal role in like how the Pokemon actually plays out. In this case, females are generally more defensive, while males are generally more offensive. That's something that Gen 3 that's something that Gen 3 changes, where a female Pokemon can be a lot more aggressive than a male Pokemon on some occasions. So basically, Gen 3 onwards, gender doesn't really matter in like the way they fight, but in this particular game, in Gold and Silver, gender pretty much means everything. Well, not everything, but it determines like what your better stats are, whether you're more offensive or more defensive. So, in the end, I wouldn't really worry about it too much, but I'd probably keep that in the back of your head just in case, you know, you are like short of a one-shot or something, and you are looking, and you know, you're kind of looking for something to blame. Okay, that's kind of mean, but you get the point. We got level 3 Caterpie here. One of the things about Gen 2 in particular that I really like, and now that we're actually in a trainer battle, I can actually finally go over this. The soundtrack in this game is absolutely killer. This is Gen 2 has been, since I've gotten into the series, and probably forever will be, my favorite OST in any generation of Pokemon. I love these tunes. Pretty much every single one of them. I think there's only one that I can say I don't like, and we're probably about to get there. We're a ways away from there. But hey, for the area that we're in right now, it's great. Oh, phone call. I thought my game froze for a second. Hello? Silver, I've heard from Professor Elm that you went on a long trip. I wish you would have told me. What about money? Should I save it? Oh, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, if you don't talk to your mom and just leave, this happens. So, yeah, no real big deal. Anyway, if I'm not mistaken, please pop up for me right now. Yeah! We got some new Pokemon here on Route 31. One of them being Bellsprout here. Bellsprout is is the average grass-type Pokemon. Usually part poison. Some has more crippling stats than actual offensive, though in the form of Bellsprout. However, Bellsprout here is definitely more of an attacker Pokemon, especially of the mixed attacker variety. So yeah, would I add this to my team? Probably not, but it's on the table if you want it. It's just grass Pokemon don't really do well in this generation. Second Pokemon you can catch here, and only at nighttime, is Ghastly. Ghastly is the only ghost type. I mean, one of only 2 ghost types in the entire game. Pretty much get used to that, because Ghastly may as well be the only ghost type in this entire game. Ghastly, pretty much when it evolves, becomes one of the most fearsome special attackers in the entire game, except there is one problem with that. In order to fully realize its potential, you need to trade for it. And, you know, actually trade back so you can actually keep the Gengar. And, my goodness. This is before Generation 4's physical special split. If you were playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you do not need to worry about this in one bit. Gold, Silver, Crystal players, excuse me, will have to worry about the fact that you are pretty much screwed out of stab moves on this one. Mostly because of the fact that all of the stab moves that Ghastly gets are physical. Yeah, it suffers Totodile Syndrome, and a lot of other Pokemon do suffer this as well. Because all Ghost and Poison moves are physical in this generation, you can't use Stab Shadow Ball without it going off the physical attack stat, and Shadow Ball in this game lowers special defense. I never understood why that's the case, but apparently it is. Anyway, may as well just go ahead and knock out this trainer real quick. Really love the animation for that too. I wish more Pokemon games had something pretty similar to that, but they don't. Bugcatcher Wade has all kinds of different crap on his team, including level 2 Caterpies. Yeah, sure, I guess Phanpy's gonna need to take on some solo on its own at some point. Also, that did a lot of damage. So yeah, Phanpy, this one in particular, because it's female, is more defensive. So, I mean, considering the fact that Phanpy's kind of both physically defensive and physically offensive, yeah, I guess gender doesn't really matter much for it in particular. But I guess you might want something a bit more offensive because, you know, how are you gonna get your kills if you're relying entirely on pure defense? It's kind of like why I can't recommend Pokemon like Bastiodon. And I normally do that for my Let's Play teams. I normally remove like any like straight up tanks from, you know, my selection of Pokemon to pick for these kind of Let's Plays. Though some will shine through the cracks, and we're probably about to get to one of those at some point down the road. Get out of here. Phanpy is just clearing out the way for is just clearing out Wade's team. This is going smoothly. Well, it was going smoothly. Oh, Realm might have to take over here. Okay, critical hit. On the bright side, Phanpy being a ground type does make it resistant to poison, so that's good. Unfortunately, it's not going to save us from damage over time. I might also have to pop the antidote. In fact, I know I will. We're going to get the level up at least, so that's good. And you still have one more. A Caterpie. Yeah, sure. Probably should have took this guy on while we were actually going over this Pokemon, because that would have been the logical thing to do, you know. Yeah, let's switch out. I kind of don't trust. Oh god, we're both about to die. That's gonna be bad. Losing a Pokemon battle means going back to the last Pokemon Center that you, well, visited. In this case, it'd be Cherry Grove. Critical hit. Looking good. And Bugcatcher Wade's been defeated. Yeah, before I actually do that... Yeah, let's use the... No, antidote. I don't think I want to pop a Poison Cure Berry unless I am, like, 100% positive that, you know, I can actually cure it. Nothing there. So that was the Bitter Berry that I pulled earlier. I actually don't remember what those do. And what are we gonna get here? Bellsprout, probably. A Hoppip. Well, because the only thing you can do is splash. Have at it, Phanpy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll see you after this fight. Yeah, that took a while. At least, you know, at least the Pokemon is very defenseless, can't really do anything. You found a Pokemon in the Dark Cave. When Raise takes take the Faulkner, he's the leader of the Violet City Gym. Alright. That's good to know. Violet City. We are here at last. And pretty much, I think that's where we're really about to, well, do it. Because, man, that was a long journey. And, you know, going after things like Phanpy, I spent hours doing that. So we're going to go ahead and explore Violet City next time on Pokemon Crystal. See you guys then.